Hello guys, good evening. This is Naga. How are you guys doing? Okay guys, let's start with the first session, and today's session I would cover how to set up the Jupyter IDE for Windows 10. So this would be running on top of Python, and we will be installing some of the other libraries which are in Python like pandas and matplotlib. So let's start with this one. So what is a Jupyter IDE? Jupyter IDE is nothing but it's one of the tool used for uh, plotting, data mining, and everything. Like we do on top of using it, we do it using Python. So let's see how to install Jupyter. Okay, so there are some prerequisites for installing Jupyter IDE. The first and foremost thing is the Python software. So Jupyter would be running on top of Python. So let's install Python. So I have already installed Python, but you just need to go to the Python website, which is python.org, and download the Python software, whatever is the latest version. And once that is done, you need to install the Python path to the Windows environment variables. I think you guys are aware of that one. However, there is one way to check if we added the path to the Windows environment variables or not. So you just need to open the IDE and just type on Python. So if you see the version here, that implies that the Python is installed and you have added the Python path to the environment variable of your system. If this is not coming, then there is some issue and you need to set the path there. Okay, once this is done, you would be using the pip command to install the Jupyter notebook. So Jupyter notebook is installed using command line of pip. Okay, so you would be installing with pip install Jupyter. So hope you guys are aware of pip command. So once Python is installed, you will be using pip install Jupyter. This would skip it because I already have Jupyter in my machine. So this would skip all the step, but if not installed, this command would install Jupyter in our machine. So we are done with Jupyter installation. So and then like 4 and 5, these are secondary, like installing Anaconda and Matplotlib. I'll cover up that one later. But if you want to start the Jupyter IDE, you just need to follow the following steps. Just create a working folder where you want to have your notebook, Jupyter notebook, which is the IDE. So I wanted to start a project with COVID-19 data analysis. So I created a working directory, and here you would just run into the command line of this folder. So what you do is like you'll come to the Windows folder path and just type cmd. This would route you to the root folder of this directory. And here, if you want to open a Jupyter notebook, you just type this command, Jupyter space notebook. This would open the Jupyter internal server and an IDE which would be running on top of that engine. So let's give it 2 minutes for this one. Okay, here we go. So this is our Jupyter IDE and Jupyter engine that is running. So one thing we need to see is like if you want to start a new notebook on top of Jupyter, you'll be going to new and you'll be opening a Python 3 notebook. And I mentioned like we need a Python 3 because this is the engine which it uses for running. If Python is not installed, you will not be seeing this option. So you can open a new notebook, but I have already created a new notebook here for data visualization. So I'll be opening that. We can discuss about this in detail in later session, but this session is like how to open this IDE. So this is a sample project where I have installed two other libraries from Python, which is pandas and matplotlib. So pandas is nothing but the soft library for data frame, and matplotlib is nothing but the a library for showing up the plots or graphs. So once we run this one, this is a sample application. This is plotting x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. So we have, I think we have done all this in our schooling, guys. So I think once you refresh this one or go through, revise this one, it will be easy for us to understand. And I am loading the data from a sample CSV to the data frame, and then on top of that, we are pulling all